Morning. Welcome to our Tuesday morning beginner workout. Today we are doing upper lower core. Equipment you'll need is a chair and some resistance in any form of fashion, really. I have hand weights here, I have cans. I'll show you a little bit of both, but I'll probably mostly be using the cans because that's probably a little bit more accessible to people. We have 3 groups of 3 exercises. It's all rep-based, so we won't be using a timer today. We'll start with our warm-up. We'll go palms up, cross the body, turn palms down with our arm swings. Just loosen up the chest, the shoulders, the arms a little bit. Feels like I haven't taught and forever with being off last week, so it's nice to be in front of the camera with my very dated wallpaper behind me. Okay, we're going to push our hips back, crawl our hands in front of our legs, and then slowly stand up, pulling back on those left fingers, arms overhead. Hips to the left, lean to the right. Hips to the right, lean to the left. Well, that felt pretty good. All right, we'll do that one more time. So upper lower core, just as the name suggests, we'll be doing one from each group there. And then as we stand up, we're going to pull back on the right fingers, arms overhead. Hips to the right, lean to the left. Hips to the left, lean to the right. And we'll interlock our fingers behind our head. Pull the elbows back so that you're opening up the chest, and we'll just rotate from the hips. As I said in the description there, all levels are welcome, but this is a very beginner exercise or workout. There is one exercise that uses the chair with the step up, so the chair might be a little high if you're like a very new beginner. So you might want to use something a little less high, but still very sturdy. So like a step would work very well. Okay, and then we'll go into our floor sweeps. So I'm going to point my toe up, leg is straight, big old sweep. I'm adding in 2 hamstring, and we alternate. So straight leg, hinge at the hips, big floor sweep, switch side. I'm doing multiple hamstrings today just with even though a lot of people are returning to work now, we're still sitting a lot. And that means our hamstrings are in a flex position all day long. So adding a little bit of mobility around the hamstrings is never a bad thing. And then we'll just wake up the core with some single leg deadlifts. So if you need like your chair to help stabilize yourself, you can. Again, when we help stabilize ourselves, we're not having that death grip on the thing. We're just, using it to catch our balance or to assist with our balance. So I'm pushing my hips back. And then that trail leg, I should show you on this chair. The trail leg comes up as high as I can, and that helps me keep that nice straight line. And then I just use one finger to help assist my balance. And we'll switch sides. So we'll do this one over here. Switching sides. I think I just did the same side. There we go. Keep that chest lifted. And just by putting ourselves in this stance, we have to use our core to assist with our balancing. So it will be ready to go for our workout. So we'll go into group 1. It's all rep-based. So we have our curl to press, 6 step-ups per side, and then 6 dead bugs. So we can go ahead and grab our weight. I'll show you a few of what they look like before we get into it. So weights are just held at the side, right? I'm going to curl them up. When I curl, my elbows are pinned to my sides. So it's just the bicep that does the curling motion. I can curl, And then what I can do is I can turn my palms away from me, press on up, and return. All right? If you feel like keeping your elbows in front of you is better for your shoulders, you can. You can have them out to your sides and press. Whatever is most comfortable for you. If you don't like the overhead movement, you can just do the curls, but just add in 2 or 3 so that you can sort of keep up with us in terms of not going too fast. So, without further ado, we'll do our 10 curl press. There's one. We just want to keep a nice natural pace on these. And the one thing I do, there's 3, with my curl component, is I don't allow it to hang to the side. When I stop just before that point where I'm all the way down. And if you need something a little bit heavier, you can find something a little bit heavier. And 10. Okay. And then we're just going to take these right over to our chair for our step-ups. I'm going to do all of one side at one time. The step-up is really great because it's really going to teach you to activate your glute muscles in your step pattern. So I'm going to step up. Let me just move this a little bit back. All you're going to do is you're going to step onto the chair, and then whatever feels natural with stepping back down. I like to step down with the opposite leg that I stepped up with, and then it just feels like I'm climbing stairs. So standing up nice and tall, we'll go into it in 3, 2, and 1. Step up. Four. We switch sides there. So now my right leg is always leading. I'm always standing tall for this. Last one. Good. We can set the cans down for our dead bug, or you can use them in your hands there, but we're going to be on our back. Push those back a little further. On our back, legs bent at 90-90. Opposite arm, opposite leg out. Opposite arm, opposite leg out. You can go ahead and join me. All right? If you need to make it easier, just shorten up your range of motion. Okay, here we go. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. 5. And 6. Okay. We can slowly get up. Grab our rights. Grab some water. Seeing how we were doing on time there. I'm going to move up and wait a little bit. But you're more than welcome to use whatever you would like there. I'm not going up and weight too much. I'm just using the 10 pounds here, nothing too fancy. But the cans are essentially no resistance for me. So, you know, make your workout your own. Find yourself where you're at. I could certainly do heavier, but I'd like to still be able to talk while I do these. So without further ado, we're going to go into our curled press. So I curl and I press. There's 1. There will be shorter rests between this round because I won't be explaining the exercises in between. So we're just going to jump from one to the other. Try to make this all one smooth motion with your curl to press, and try to keep pace with me. It's that's 6. You know, it's a natural pace. It's not too fast, but it is controlled. We have 3 more. And we don't want to arch our back either. If you find yourself arching, if you find yourself doing this to curl, just or leaning back, just stagger your step. We got one more, I think. Okay, there we go. Stagger your step, and that will allow you to stand up nice and tall. We don't want you leaning back on that. Oh, just going to move those cans out of the way so I don't trip on them. Grab my weights again, and we're going back into our step up. I'm starting with my left foot, 6 per side. If you find that you're having a hard time keeping pace with me on these, there's 6, we're going to switch sides. You can cut the reps. You could do 5 per side. You can do 4 per side. Make your workout your own. I switch sides, by the way. And 6. And then we go into our dead bugs. So I just have to make sure I'm on camera here. I'm going to try to go diagonal here so you can see a little bit more what's going on. Opposite arm, opposite leg out. The other side. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. Okay, go ahead, sit up slowly. Grab some water. Take a short little break. And then we're going to be hopping right back into it for round 3, which is the last round of group 1. All right, so grab your weights. And we're up again in 3, 2, and 1 with our curl press. So I curl up, press. I stagger if I find myself leaning back at all. And my elbows are pinned to my side for the curl component. I can't exactly press that way. I turn my palms as I need to throughout this to make my form fluid and controlled. 2 more. 9 and 10. Perfect. This weight's held to the side and go right into our step ups. Starting with the left, that's 1. Standing up nice and tall. If you don't have a step at home, and I should have mentioned this, you can always just do like a march in place with your weights. It's certainly not the same, and you're not going to activate the same muscles, but it is better than nothing. You can do a squat as well. Switching sides. But we really want to activate the glutes within this exercise, which is your butt. Because you really cannot avoid using your glutes on a step up and learning to use them as well. Sometimes people's bodies become untrained and they just stop using it because their body doesn't know how to use it. Okay, dead bugs for the final round. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. Go ahead and take a drink. I'm just going to switch over and start showing you what the exercises look like for round 2. We have our forward side lateral raises. So I'm just going to grab the cans again to show these. But essentially we're going to go forward, to the side, that's 1. If you need to make this easier, you can just use your arms as weight. But again, standing nice and tall And then if we start to lean back, you can do that staggered step. Goblet squats, I'll just show you. Wrist over top elbows. I'm just pushing the cans together or the weights together. Hinge at the hips. Squat down. If you need to use your chair, you can go ahead and use your chair. And then our bird dogs are 6 per side. And that's extend opposite out. Extend. Okay? Without further ado, we'll get into it. These ones will be pretty tough. I'm actually going to change this to 8 because that's going to be a lot. If you're a little bit more advanced, you could probably get away with 10, but since we are, this is a beginner class, we'll go with 8. So, 3, 2, and 1. There's 1, 2, 3, and I never go higher than shoulder height. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I never try to let the weight settle too long on that one. I'm always moving through it. All right, so 12 goblet squats. Hinge at the hips, chest stays lifted, bend the knees. Squat down, there's 1. You can create a little bit of space by pushing your knees out to keep them in line over the toes. 2, 3, that should be 4, sorry. You can use a chair if you need to. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Set those weights down. Go into our bird dogs. Opposite arm, opposite leg extended. Switch sides. That's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. That is round 1. Like I said, I'll probably switch to the heavier weights here. These forward side lateral raises are going to be tough with 10 pounds, but I'm going to try them anyways. I think I should still be able to talk with them. Yeah, the other ones are just the same weight as the cans of soup or cans of beans, it feels like. Okay, forward side lateral raise. Again, if you need to stagger, you can. There's 1. There's 2. Try not to swing on these 2. 3, 4. What I find helps some people is to go thumbs up. If you find that your shoulder, it starts to grind a little bit. 6, 7, and 8. Our goblet squat is next. These ones are a little awkward to do with 2 weights of this size. So what I would suggest is almost going into this position if you're using 2 dumbbells like this. So wrists are still under elbows, but more in line with my shoulders here. I open up for my squat, and we're doing 12. 1, 2. Again, change your range of motion. 3 based on your ability. You might be in this quarter squat position. 4, 5, 6, right? 7, 8, 9, chest stays lifted, 10, 11, and 12. Do our bird dogs. Last exercise of group 2, round 2. There's 1, 2, 3, and 6. So another important thing with that is that we really don't want to wobble on that exercise. That's the most important thing. All right, we'll take our breather, see how we're doing on time. We're actually running a little bit late, so we're just going to do 2 rounds of that, and we'll do 2 rounds of this. And that should be good for today. So our bent over rows, we're going to hinge at the hips. Chest stays lifted. The weight should end up at your knees. Pull the elbows past the body. Lateral lunge. We can hold it the same way we held the goblet. We're going to do 6 per side, and we're not going to alternate. So this is going to be a little tougher than usual. And then 10 plank shoulder taps. You can do these from a full plank position, where you go 1, or you can do it from a modified position, which is from the knees. All right, so we'll do 2 rounds of this, and then we'll do some stretches, then you'll be out of here. Without further ado, hinge at the hips, chest stays lifted, weight at the knees. We're doing 12. 1, pull the elbows past the body. 2, it's all in the elbows. By pulling the elbows and focusing on that, pulling past your body rather than moving the weights, you'll use your back muscles. That's halfway. And we'll go 1 more. Good. Into our lateral lunges. Make sure your space is clear. Exaggerated step to the side. Lean into it, step back. That's 1. 2. 3. Again, adjust your range of motion based on your ability. 5. You could just be right there, right? There's 6. Switch sides. You could also have the weight down here and step it with the lag, and then that lag is a little bit more loaded. Last 1. Good. Into our plank shoulder taps. Widen the feet if you need to, and that will give you more stability. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice straight line. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. And I'll show you the modified again on the second round. Go ahead, take a quick breather, and then we'll go into our second and final round of group 3. And grab a little bit heavier weights. Not too much heavier. Not showing off, but just to get some, feel the exercise in itself. Okay, we're hinging at the hips, chest stays lifted. So how I do that is I just push my butt back as far as I can. Butt back, and then I focus on keeping my chest up. Elbows past the body, there's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Just making sure to readjust your form as you need to. Okay, and then our lateral lunges. 6 per side, that's 1. 2, 3, 4. And with this, keep your chest lifted. I might have a slight lean forward. 5, and 6, switch sides. But you can see how the chest stays lifted, right? 4, 5, and 6. Good. Final exercise, plank shoulder taps. I'm going to show you those from the modification. You can also do these from an incline, right? As your modification. I'm going to show you from the ground from the knees. So again, I just walk out so I feel like I have a good amount of tension on my core, and then it's just alternating shoulder taps. That's 2, 3, and any time you want to pop up, 4, you can, right? It's that easy. And then if you need a break, you can pop down. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. The modification, does make it easier, but everything is relative, right? So if you find your, 7 out of 10 intensity, your 6 out of 10 intensity, that's fantastic. That's all you need. Whether it's for modified, whether it's for full, whether, you need to do flips to do that. Okay, we're going to sit on a chair. Left leg crossed over the right, slightly forward. We have to cut out 2 rounds of exercise there to fit things in. So if you want to add those in somewhere in your day, you can. We're going to switch sides. If you enjoyed it more rep-based, just leave a comment. If you like it more on the clock, just let me know too. If, neither is good or bad, just that's fine too. I'll just sort of keep doing what I'm doing. All right, and then we'll put out both toes, or both legs, nice and straight. I'm gonna point the toes towards my shin. I'm just gonna hinge forward, right? Just bowing my body forward, reaching towards my toes by sliding my hands down my legs. Feeling that stretch in the hamstrings, maybe the calves. Okay, and then we will stand up. You can use a wall. I'm just going to use this couch because it's nice and convenient for me and it's on camera. I'm going to take an exaggerated step back with my right foot, and then I'm pressing my right heel into the ground while leaning forward, and that creates a stretch in my calves. Another commonly tight muscle group for a lot of people. And we'll switch sides. We'll go to standing with our door frame stretch. So you can use a door frame to do, 2 at once. I don't really have that luxury here, even though that is a door. But we're just going to go one at a time. My palm is up on the door frame, and then I'm just twisting through the top, creating a stretch in my chest and in my shoulders. By doing palm up, I also get a little bit of bicep. So that's why I usually go palm up. But if bicep's not tight for you, you don't need to go palm up. You can just focus on the chest. We'll switch sides. And I go palm up on the door frame. My arm is stretched out straight, and I'm turning through the top by using the door frame and my arm as leverage. Door frame is, like the fulcrum. My arm's the lever. I guess actually this is more your fulcrum right here. And I'm trying to move the load of the door frame, but that's neither here nor there. You should just be feeling it stretching your chest. Okay, and then for our final stretch, we're actually going to go to the ground and just do our child's pose. With all that core work today, it's nice to release the lower back as well, because some people core gets tired and they start to feel it in their low back. So we're just going to push our hips back into our heels, reach on forward, hang out for a little bit, take a few deep breaths. All right, and that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my wild hair. Still need a haircut, but we'll get there one day. So I'm back on the schedule on Thursday, and I hope to see you there. Have a wonderful day.